just a couple of things we're going to discuss now.
I know something to actually mention.
Go on.
Wankel engines. Mazda are bringing back the Wankel engine. No sniggering.
I honestly thought this was a joke.
I did. I thought it was a joke.
I thought this was just a random text message just to make me laugh, this, but obviously not.
Yes, Mazda are looking to bring their rotary engines back, which are officially known as Wankel engines. But they are going to use them as range extenders in the electric vehicles, in the same way that BMW do with the i3.
Right.
You can buy the i3 as an all electric, or you can buy it with a range extender, which is basically an engine.
Doesn't that then become a hybrid?
Technically, yes, but it's an optional hybrid rather than an actual hybrid.
An optional hybrid because you chose it to be a hybrid?
Yes, because if you are choosing to have a range extender fitted.
Why are the car companies giving us this much choice?
Anyway, Mazda.
Yes, so Mazda are bringing back the Wankel rotary engine last seen in the RX-8. 8, yes,
yeah.
The RX-8. And that will be back by 2020.
Do you know I kind of liked that car? Except for the silly way.
Do you know something?
Yeah.
The thing that I remember about that car was what incredibly good value it was. Because even when it was brand new, you were only talking about £23,000. And the options list was quite small as well. You had, I think, the choice of heated leather seats, you had a choice of a sunroof, and you had a choice of whether it was, I think it was a 190 horsepower 5-speed or a 230 horsepower 6-speed.
But imagine being at a party. What are you driving these days? Oh, well,
A Mazda.
a Mazda.
Yeah.
What engine it got? Well, it's got a Wankel engine.
Wasn't it a 1.3 or something? Like, or they come to
It was a
1.3?
1.3, I think, or at least a 1. Something like that, 1.4,
Yeah.
1.3.
Now, the thing with those, though, is, of course, I mean, Saab's first car had a rotary engine in it.
Yeah.
And, of course, they're fine so long as you don't actually stop sort of tapping the engine, because the engine's oil flow comes from the fuel. And, of course, with the Saab, when it was going downhill and you didn't really want to use your accelerator, you had to keep dabbing it and, of course, then put the brakes on to stop yourself from going stupidly fast. Of course, the brakes were absolutely rubbish and you're having to tap the accelerator. Yeah. So you basically took your life into your own hands.
But to be fair, you expected that with Saab.
You did.
Bonkers and all that, but Mazda...
Mazda, you've got an engine that does... It was reasonably efficient for a Wankel engine, but you had to have all that fuel going in to actually give it the oil.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but did it not use a lot of oil?
Yeah, because they use oil as part of the... They use the oil in the fuel as part of the lubrication, so you don't only have to keep topping up the fuel, you also have to keep topping up the oil.
Yeah.
And if you weren't actually accelerating, there was no oil flow around the engine.
Right.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Nah. It could very well be a range reducer if things go seriously wrong.
We'll see how it goes. I mean, obviously with modern technology these days, you would hopefully think it'd be a lot more reliable as well, wouldn't it? I mean, that's just as important as the performance, really, isn't it?
It was more reliable, but the biggest problem was compared to a similar engine, rotary engines were actually a lot less efficient and a lot more polluting. And that was something that paid to things like the C111 program from Mercedes.
And that's an important thing to consider, particularly here in the UK, obviously, because cars, of course, the road tax on cars is based on their emissions.
Yeah.
So,
although that is possibly changing.
Again? Oh, they always seem to change it.
They seem to change it. So that was the Mazda. The next item on the agenda is saloon cars, or small saloon cars in particular. A couple of months ago here in the UK, Honda reintroduced the Civic Saloon. Now this is, I think, if I'm right in saying, probably raised a few eyebrows because...
bit of a daring move, isn't it?
Traditionally in the UK, small saloon cars, particularly those with non-premium badges, do not sell. Volkswagen, about a year or so ago, canned the Jetta over here. That was partly due to, I think, poor sales, but partly due to the fact that car simply as well come to the end of its life cycle. But because of the sales, obviously, it wasn't really worth them reintroducing a new model. So
Well, the last couple of generations of Mondeo didn't have a saloon option.
exactly, yeah, and that's the same also with things like the Vauxhall Astra, the Ford Focus. You can buy them as saloons in other markets, but just not here. Not for the last, I don't know, 10 years or so, surely.
Easily.
So yes, Honda have introduced a new Civic saloon, and the thing we wanted to discuss was, do small saloon cars only sell with a premium badge? Because as we've mentioned earlier in the episode, the 3 Series is one of Britain's most popular cars.
Yep, and that's only available as it's available as a saloon, a GT, and I think there's an estate as well now. But it tends to be more the saloon that sells in this country.
Why? Why do you think?
I don't know.
Is it the fact it's got a premium badge that makes it sell, whereas a car like...
You'd always think the badge is a selling point, but...
Well, here's something. They keep telling us that SUV sales are growing, which they are. But the whole car market as a whole, the new car market, has collapsed year on year. And at the same time, the second-hand market has grown year on year.
Yeah.
To the point where earlier this year, second-hand car markets and finance on second-hand cars outgrew finance on new cars. Right. It's actually a bigger market. So, what's the most traded second-hand car?
3 Series?
A saloon.
A saloon, generally, yeah. So, if the market for is it the fact that the market for saloons has shrunk because they're just not being offered? Or is it actually
all these you see now are filtering down. You're getting good quality used cars now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the thing is, well, I think what a lot of people think of saloon cars is, yes, they do usually have a massive boot on them. But sometimes the access can be a bit tricky.
Yeah.
Oh, the borer.
So that I think puts people off.
The Volkswagen boring.
Yeah.
I think what we're trying to sort of discuss is the SUV boom that's happening over here now
a genuine boom, or is it just the fact that no?
Or is it going to last?
Yeah.
I don't think it'll last.
No, I don't.
I think it'll peter out.
Well, the EcoSport's a really good example. Because you don't actually get much more practicality out of it for such a big vehicle on a small platform.
The thing is, this obviously the fashion for 4x4s has happened before. This happened sort of around the early 90s. It's the reason why people like Vauxhall first introduced the Frontera 4x4, because at the time people were buying them sort of cars.
Yeah.
So is it just a phase, do you think, or do you think this is going to continue long term? I think that's the question, really.
I don't think it will. Not long term.
I have some breaking news.
Oh, go on.
I thought I'll just throw this into the pot.
Oh. Well, is this the kind of pot that Elon Musk has?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No, we can't save there.
Very tricky.
It is kind of electrifying news if you want, but that's as far as it goes.
Yeah.
That's the extent of the jokes you get on OverDrive, I'm afraid. Thanks, Martin.
Yeah. And this is no joke.
It isn't.
Those of you that have seen episodes in the past will know I had, and I stress had, a Ford Puma.
Very nice it was too.
It was. It had its moments, as we know.
Yeah.
But I let the old girl go while it was, let's say, still running.
After a bypass.
After a bypass. It had a bypass. Or
open heart surgery.
Keep going, you mother, keep going. And like I say, so that one went, and we have a replacement. We have an all new, brand new.
And it is brand new.
It is brand spanking new.
Yeah.
Ford Fiesta ST line, which, on episode 13. We shall be reviewing and having a look at.
And this is a bit of a new thing for OverDrive as well, because it's the first time we've done a new car, isn't it? I believe.
Well, not really a new car. The EcoSport would have been a new car.
The EcoSport was
relatively new, yeah.
Good 8 or 9 months new, let's say.
By the time I got to it.
Yeah. The ST, the yellow ST that I had, which you may have seen, that was just over 8 years old, so relatively new. But this is brand spanking new.
Yeah.
Only got it on Saturday. Whenever you see the video, that's Saturday the 29th of September, I
I think we're both, we're all looking forward to having a review of that, aren't we? And,
Yeah, I will report so far. I won't spoil any reviews, but so far it's a cracking car.
So we should be seeing that later on.
We will. I just thought I'd have a bit of breaking news there. I thought I'd best announce it.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough.
With that, we'd better wrap up the episode, or it's going to last another 20 years.